Okay, good evening from me. Welcome to the IB Diploma Program informative session. We often refer to the IBDP, International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. So basically, this is the terminology to begin with. The session is relevant for Year 4 students because they have the option of choosing the IB for the following year, for Year 5 and Year 6. It is a 2-year program, and this really is just the beginning of the process of choosing the IBDP and deciding if it is the right match for your style of learning. I'm addressing the students because I can see that there are quite a few of them, and already some of them have let me know that they're here. So welcome to the parents, welcome to the students. And as I've said, thank you so much. It's a late session today. We were hoping that we would be hosting on our school premises, but we had to switch to the online presentation. And that's why this turns out to be a very long evening. Somehow everything is really relevant. The IB results that you've just heard Ms. Elena Dimitriou talk about. Then the IB results, I'll go over a few points again. So like I've said, the session is being recorded, so please have that in mind. At the end of the presentation, I will switch off the recording and you'll be able to ask questions. But the reason why it's recorded is simply something that we can send you. You'll be able to go over it again, and it's for those who have been unable to attend tonight. So as I've said, it's the start of the process, so I'll be a little bit general, but also a little bit specific. So what should happen after this presentation is for the parents and the students to speak to us individually regarding their grades, regarding their university aims. So that's why the cooperation with the careers counselor, with Ms. Anna Sophocleous, is really, really important. So it's a team of people. It's the IB Diploma Program faculty, IB teachers, myself as the IB Diploma Coordinator, Ms. Caroline Yenovkian, who is also a maths teacher. She's the Assistant IB Coordinator, and Ms. Anna Sophocleous. So, and obviously individual teachers. This presentation will be made available to you. Another important document for you is the IB options booklet. IB options booklet you can find in useful material for schools, and we will also be emailing it as a PDF document. It's already available on For Schools, so you can see it right after this session if you haven't already. And there is a form that you need to fill in and return to us, either to me or Miss Caroline or your form teacher by the 4th of December. Now, regarding the IB Diploma Program, as you can see here, back to my slides, it is a strong predictor at success at university. And really, this is what differentiates the program. We've seen as a school, we've been running the diploma program since 2005. So for the last 15 years, we've got quite a bit of data, information on our students, on our graduates who went on to university, who went on and did their masters later on and got jobs. So we have our internal data for our context and community. But you have here in this slide some information obtained from a survey carried out by Higher Education Statistics Agency in the UK in 2012. And these are the findings that they see the IB graduates, diploma holders, do better in further studies. So once they go to a UK university, 90% of them achieve the first class honours in comparison to 14.5 of other qualifications. 44.2% attends one of the top 20 universities in the UK. So we see people who have been through the IB Diploma Program generally do well later on at university, but even later on at work. and we will see why. It's a holistic program. Obviously, you can see here, it has recognition in 100 countries. It's been in existence for over 50 years. When we started it in our school in 2005, it was new to Cyprus, but it's really not new to the international community. So it has wider recognition than, I would say, A levels, which are UK qualifications, great university preparation, and pretty much relevant if you are going to study, if the UK is the only option. But today we see our students and we see young people thinking globally. I'll do maybe 2 years here and a sandwich year there. I'll be traveling in Europe. I want to go and study, I don't know, in Mexico. I want to study in Canada, here and there. So we see greater mobility. So this is where IB comes in as an international qualification, offering international recognition and international education. I just look at my point 2 here. Emphasis on research and how to learn and critically evaluate information. This is the main difference. When often parents and students come and ask, okay, what's the difference between A levels and what about the IB? Which one's better? I wouldn't say which one's better, but which one's more suited to your kind of learning. Do you like research? Do you like working also with other students? Do you like projects, or do you prefer to just study alone and work to an exam? That's the really main difference, the delivery. And IB focuses very much on how to learn, how to evaluate information, because in today's world, it's not the access to curriculum is not a big deal. A lot of it is free, a lot of it is available, but it is a big deal how to manage the materials. So this is exactly what the IB program does. It's where students learn how to understand, plan, write, present, manage, communicate, debate their results, how to articulate their thoughts. And this is university type of work. Now, the main difference is they do university type of work, so planning projects, going through materials, referencing, but with the supervision of us, their IB teachers. Now, when they go to university, they're expected to manage that pretty much alone and to produce and to deliver. The IB, as I've said earlier, the IB diploma program is recognized internationally. The qualification that students actually walk away, it's called the Diploma of the International Baccalaureate. That's the official name. Sometimes informally and previously, maybe 5 years ago, it used to be called IB diploma, but the Diploma of the International Baccalaureate is the official title. Now, to get one, a student has to complete 6 subjects and 3 core components. Now, someone may say 6 subjects, it's overwhelming. I'll go a little bit into detail regarding the content of the diploma. Someone has the microphone on, so it would be a good idea to mute it. Yeah. So, to obtain the IB diploma program, a student has to complete 6 subjects and 3 core components. Now, someone in these 6 subjects, students are required to do, say, for the sake of the argument, I want to study engineering, I'm doing the IB diploma program, but I really am not that interested in doing the literature subject as one of my subjects. So I'm going to focus on maybe 3 courses, 3 subjects. Say I'll do physics, I'll do maths, and I might do chemistry, for instance, because I'm an engineer. So that's an option as well. So not to complete the full diploma, but to go for individual. In the past, they were called individual certificates. Today, they're called the diploma program courses results. So we have 2 basic qualifications, and we'll see how students decide which one to go for. But the important point to take away is that they have worldwide recognition. They open doors due to the philosophy and the quality. The philosophy being holistic education of the person, ensuring that you get a mature, aware person, and quality in terms of subject knowledge. So this is the main point. Now, also tonight, we'll take a closer look at the IB mission statement, the learner profile, because all these things you may have heard, you will be coming across, and I want to try and clarify as much as I can in this first contact. So what makes the IB so special? What is the diploma program curriculum? A little bit about the subjects and the assessment. The subjects we offer as a school in 2021, and our graduates and their so far results. The important thing is that IB organization, if you go and type in IBO.org, you will see that it's a non-profit foundation motivated by education mission focused on the students. So really the idea is to educate young people, to give them knowledge in the subject, but to give them critical thinking skills. And it's a non-profit foundation, so the idea is that everything goes into the program, into the ensuring quality of the programs and the materials for the students. And the idea, the main idea, if you read the mission statement, you will see the idea is to create a better world one day. Because if you have able, holistically educated individuals, you will also see that our school, the mission of PASCAL English School, but also PASCAL Education, is in line with the IB mission statement. That's exactly what we want to do. Educate young people who are knowledgeable in their subject, but who are socially aware, who are aware of the global responsibility as well, and their obligation to the environment, to each other, who are compassionate, and also who are able to anticipate change. It's not just about, like in today's world, nobody could anticipate this, but now we are learning and modeling, so anticipate change and adapt to that change. The legal status, as I've said, of the IB is that it's a non-profit organization. It's based in Switzerland, the headquarters of the IB. A group of educators started it in 1968, and with an aim of putting a learner, a student, at the core, at the center, not just taking a young person and saying, okay, now we will feed you information, but rather saying, okay, let's see what this young person can understand and how we can develop this young person. The IB learner profile is an IB document, but basically it contains a set of outcomes for young people, for citizens of tomorrow, for the 21st century. So IB learners strive to be inquirers, knowledgeable thinkers, communicators, principled, open-minded, caring, risk-takers, balanced, reflective. I know it may look a little bit like a shopping list and all that, but it's not like this. If you think about the fact that we get a young person at the age of 16, we have him or her, we have them for 2 years. And in each subject, we have to show how is it that in mathematics we teach them to be inquirers, knowledgeable thinkers. We have to actually show how it is reflected in our teaching, in our curriculum. So 6 subjects, incorporating these points and working on them over a period of time obviously gives results. Now, it gives results to an extent. It doesn't mean they will be all in equal parts, but the idea is to make them as much as possible knowledgeable thinkers, open-minded. What makes it so special? What makes the program special? As I've said earlier, it's for ages 16 to 19 officially. Normally in our school, students are 16 and normally they are 18 when they finish. So thinking about the IB program, for example, economics in IB, it's not different economics than in terms of content. It's the same principles, it's the same theories, it's the same terminology that would have been taught in A-levels. But so the curriculum, as I said earlier, thinking about each subject, it contains the IB learner profile at its core. The idea is, if we move on to the student assessment, the idea is that students work on projects, the students work on presentations, on debating, on references. So the assessment is different and it's mainly focused on coursework, on process. The exam, it takes place in the second year, normally in May. Now, Another thing that's very special is professional development of the teachers. The IB as an organization forces every single IB World School, and you can see our round logo everywhere, IB World School. In order to be an authorized IB World School, it means your teachers have to continuously go through the professional development in form of official IB training, on-site, off-site, online. And we have to show that these credentials are up to date. And the school evaluation. Every 5 years, our school goes through a process of evaluation by the IB as if we are going through the authorization again. So everything again from scratch, that the teachers are and their credentials and their training up to date, that our premises and our programs and equipment and facilities are up to date. So that is why you do not see IB schools in Cyprus springing like mushrooms. That's why you would see our school in Lefkosia and PASCAL school in Larnaca. And all these special components really guarantee to the stakeholders, to the parents, quality. Now, IB diploma program curriculum, it is normally represented in a circle. You can see it here. You will see it in the IB options booklet. And you can see that in this circle, there are groups. IB calls them groups of subjects. So there is one group, it studies in language and literature. That would be something that we call mother tongue. However, a parenthesis, it's a student's first language in which they can read literature. So that would be the parameter to choose the first language. And this is something for our students. Obviously, we can help. We know our students. We know this is where the languages department can offer guidance. We know the grades. So we can see, because sometimes it's difficult for our students, say at home, maybe we speak Russian or some kind of combination of Russian and Greek, or Romanian and English. So what's my first language? And then the education has been in another language. So this is where we will definitely help. But for students, the guiding idea is, in which language would you feel comfortable reading a book? That's the really question. That's your first language, meaning to understand subtle hints, connotations. So that would be, so for example, if we say someone's name is Mr. Bumble. Bumble? What does that mean? Is he a kind, hardworking person, or he's like a bumblebee, lazy? So immediately if you can click, that tells you your first language. But like I've said, we will help. Language acquisition, because the IB believes that every person should know at least one second language, an additional language to their mother tongue. So this would be second language. So for example, for most our students, what happens, say the first language is Greek. We are in Cyprus, we speak at home, that's the background, we speak Greek. So the second language would be English. Or I've been through an international education. We also speak some English at home. I read in English, so my first language is English, and in which case my second language can be French, say from scratch. I've never done any French, but it's good to start learning another foreign language. Or I can continue with French if I've been learning it for the last 3 or 4 years. Now, another group is sciences, natural sciences. This is where we find physics, biology, chemistry. Then we have the arts. Now, the arts, we do visual arts. Excellent course. However, it is a matter of a talent. And although the IB says students must do one subject from each of these groups, students are allowed to forgo the art subject. So if they forgo the art subject, then they can choose another subject for any other group, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now, another group of subject group is individuals and societies, and that's social sciences. And this is where we have economics and psychology at our school that are on the offer. Then just one second to admit a person to our presentation. Now, another group is mathematics. In mathematics, we have 2 levels of mathematics. It's called one is higher level, and that's really for all those future engineers who need mathematics at a higher level. Christos, please mute your microphone. And we have mathematics standard level, which does the job for a variety of university courses in the future. Now, to sum this up, IB diploma program curriculum, students study concurrently, as I've said, one subject from each group. They may forgo the arts, but must take up an additional one from any other group. So in total, students study 6 subjects either way, either one from each, or they forgo art and then take an additional one. Another important point is that 3 subjects must be done at higher level and 3 at standard. So this is when we talk about 6 subjects in the diploma, this is what we mean. Moving further into the core of the circle, you see theory of knowledge and extended essay and creativity, action, and service. These are the 3 components that are mandatory for students doing the diploma. Creativity, action, service is a set of activities. This is where the student is helped to mature and connect to the environment. It's not an academic subject, but it's like doing something for someone else or for the community without getting house points or money, or simply doing it for altruistic purposes. You can teach someone something, you can teach a group of people something, you can help someone. So this is structured, and there is a creativity action service coordinator, Ms. Nectaria Hadji-Sergis, and at any point in time, she can give more information on that. Let's go back to the academic subjects. Theory of knowledge is a course in critical thinking skills, whereby students question the basis of knowledge. So, for example, to what extent can we trust? To what extent can we trust what the statistics is telling us? What do we do? Do we look at raw numbers? What is bias? What is hidden bias? Am I biased? I might be without knowing. So it's a series of exercises. It's not philosophy. It's a course in critical thinking skills, and students quite enjoy it, but because they discover a lot about themselves and the way they acquire knowledge. But this course results in an essay of 1,600 words on a prescribed title by the IB dealing with a knowledge question. Knowledge question being, for example, to what extent science can give us all the answers regarding the vaccines. So yeah, something like that. Quite an enjoyable course to do and for me to teach. Now, extended essay is really a research project. It's a 4,000-word research project that students complete by the end of year 2 of the IB diploma program. So normally, year 5 students, 5 IB students will start writing this research project somewhere in March, April, once we articulate their knowledge, their research question. So this only tells you the difference between the IB and A levels, because students who might be fantastic, excellent, great, A star, they still will have not seen a 4,000-word project. They will only see it by the time they need to do their dissertation at university. IB students will have been through the process with the guidance of the teachers. So once they go to university, they're familiar with what they need to do. Now, the IB diploma score, we know from A levels, A star, ABC. However, what happens in the IB diploma program, the minimum number of points is 24. And that's because so if I'm doing 6 subjects, the maximum grade that I can get in each is 7. The minimum is 1. So if now the maximum score is 45. So where do the additional 3 points come from? They come from extended essay and theory of knowledge, because they are cross-referenced and they can give us a maximum of 0 to 3 points. So this is in terms of grades. Now, what makes IB special for universities? The universities can see this scale. It's not ABCD, so they can differentiate between a student who got 28 and the student who got 36. So obviously, they are the better ones. Now, So as I mentioned, these are the groups. Remember the groups of subjects. The first one is mother tongues, 46 languages are regularly available. Normally in our school at the moment, we have Greek A1, we have English A1. Students have been doing self-study Russian. Students have been doing self-study Persian over the years, and we are open to any other self-study. So if someone's first language is, I don't know, Romanian or Armenian, we can see that that's done as a self-study. So you will see the form that you need to fill in offers this option. Group 2 offers second languages. We offer French as a second language. We offer English as a language B, and we offer French ab initio. Ab initio meaning from